Hey, everybody. So glad to have you here with us on Purposeful Productivity. I see some folks have joined us already. It is good to see you all on this Friday. And I want to say hello. I've got a little bit of information to share with you, but I want to say hey to Roy and Yolanda and Frank, who are already with us this evening. As we have more people join us, it'll be awesome. And I see you guys are already chatting with each other. That warms my heart. So thank you. And Roy, thank you for the compliment about the thumbnail. You can tell the emotional CEO when he gets here because he's the one who designed it. I was saying to Frank, if y'all see a really nice thumbnail, it wasn't me. When y'all see these real plain looking ones, that's me trying a little bit, but I'm getting there. I am getting there. So I'm improving skill every day, and that's what it's about. It doesn't mean I started perfect, it means I'm improving skill. So, hey, emotional CEO, happy Friday to you as well. To all the moderators in the house, I think everybody here moderates one or more channels. Moderators, salute to you. So glad to have you. I'm going to go ahead and get into the content for this evening. Just want to make sure, and then we'll chop it up. I'm going to ask you early to start putting questions in the chat today while we're going through the content, and so that I can answer or respond to your questions. And we're going to continue on this journey about building habits, habit stacking. Before I get into it, I do want to say one other thing. When I was thinking about the theme for the month of January, I was just sitting with the pad of paper doodling, and habit stacking came to mind. And I thought that is perfect. And I, at the time, was not cognizant of the how much the Atomic Habits was affecting me. And so a lot of what I'm talking about really is coming out of the book by James Clear, but it's other things, it's other lessons in my life and other experiences that I've had also that are I'm applying and how I'm using things. So I'm going to talk about some of the examples from real life examples for me this evening. So let's go ahead and start. So I'm going to start with asking you a couple of questions. The first question is, have you ever thought about how just tweaking a few small things in your life can allow can cause a big change in your life? A few small things. Have you really given that any thought about how just a few small things, not big things, can change your life? The other thing I want you to think about is changes to not something that's a one off and you do it rarely, but those daily, everyday routine activities that you have and habits, just tweaking those a little bit, that they can also make a significant change in your life, in your day. And making the third is making simple changes in a workflow or a process, the steps that you go through and how you do them, how that can make a change. If you said yes to any of these questions, great. If you said no, you're in for a treat because we're going to dig into some easy things we can do in these areas of our life and the behavior changes that we can make that will make long term, lasting, positive, big differences in our life. I'm so excited to talk with you about this because I have realized in my own everyday life how important routines and habits are, and how much I end up not doing things sometimes because I haven't paid attention to routines and habits. So it's the little things. It's the little things. It's not the big things. It's the little things in relationships. It's also the little things in how we get things done. So that's what we're going to talk about. And I'm going to start with going right into it. And the first thing is I'm going to talk about, let's talk about transforming a couple of small daily routines. We all have them. We have routines that we do every morning, every evening, every afternoon when we drive to work or drive to wherever we're going or walk around the house. We have routines. We just simply, this is how I do it. I do it this way and I always do it this way. I don't think about it. I remember when I learned this routine principle and I was listening to someone who said, "Pay attention to the way you put your socks on. Do you always start with your foot or your right foot?" That's a routine. That is a thing you've trained yourself to do, and you just do it that way. No particular reason other than it has become a behavior habit. And or if you I'll give you one and I'll talk about it later. When I go to take notes on a sheet of paper, I put the date in a certain spot on the paper. And it's so routine for me that if it's not in that spot, I get confused. So just making a small tweak can make such a positive difference in your day and your morning routine and long after. Just thinking about, I do this thing every morning in my morning routine. I do this thing every afternoon, midday. I do this thing every evening. When I come in the house from work, I do this. The first thing, I'll give you an example. When I used to go out and I went to the office every day, when I open the door, almost before I'm through the door, the first thing that happened is my shoes came off. My shoes came off, my purse went to a certain spot, and then everything else after that was a whirlwind. Habit, literally habit. So, what do you do in the morning in your morning routine, or what do you do when you wind down at night that you can employ something else that is going to make you be able to achieve something you want to achieve? That is the question. And I'm going through this taking this time because I really want to make sure I'm talking about get this in our head because so much of the time, and I'm guilty of this, I'm thinking about the big thing, not those little routine things that they don't even seem like they make a difference, but they make all the difference in the world on how you organize your day, your week to do better, to make uh, decisions with less stress and being more productive. So, a couple of things we're going to talk about. And some of this is you're going to have to change the way you see yourself. So, let's say you want to improve your health. Just use that as an example. You want to improve your health. And every morning, you do one thing and one thing only. You don't do anything else. You just intentionally, as you finish brushing your teeth, before you leave the mirror, you take 3 breaths. Just take 3 breaths. That's all. Nothing dramatic. You're not going to the gym because everybody who said, I'm going to go to the gym every day by tomorrow, no, by today, they're probably not going to the gym. They stopped already. Statistically, June 10th, January 10th, not June 10th, January 10th is the day that the majority of people give up on those great resolutions that they make. But I am a healthier person this year. So, what I'm going to do to be a healthier person is after I brush my teeth, before I leave this mirror, I am going to take 3 breaths. It's equivalent to the man who we talked about, I believe it was last week, who started by just going to the gym, didn't exercise, just walked in the gym. But this is something personal, up close and personal. You don't have to leave your house, you don't have to buy anything, you don't have to do any of that. You just say, I am going to take 3 breaths, and you take the 3 breaths and you go on about your business. Could you do that? Now, for you, I'm going to suggest think about something that you want to have change in your life, and you can think of some small, teeny thing that it doesn't even feel like it's going to do anything. Can you apply it? Another one, and this one is huge, is if you, I'm not even going to say if, you have affirmations and you've written them and you've put them on the wall and you don't read them and you don't say them. But what if you recorded them and while you're making your bed, you play that recording? Making your bed, you're going to make your bed at least I hope you're going to make your bed most days, if not every day. You're going to make your bed. While you're making your bed, you play that recording of your affirmations. So you say who you want to be, you're talking to yourself. What we say to ourselves is much more powerful than what other people say to us. So when you talk to yourself, that's your affirmations. That's one that can change, just changing a daily routine, and it will transform what happens. Because now you're going to get in the habit of doing one thing. Okay, I'm listening to the affirmations that's getting in my brain. I'm reinforcing it. I'm anchoring it to who I am. And the next thing is going to come along, and you're going to be doing it without even thinking about it. Daily routine. So I'm going to encourage you to, for yourself, your action, your takeaway is figure out that one small thing in your current day that you want to employ. Not a big thing. Not a big thing. I'll give you one that Miss Denise helped me with. Thank you, Denise. The swish and wipe in the bath. That thing still changed my life. Just something so simple. I'm already there. I've already got the supplies. Just do it. Spray down the sink, wipe down the sink, pick up stuff, clean the toilet, make sure the shower is straight. You're good. Doesn't take me really anything. Take me just a couple of minutes. And now I've been doing it and it makes a big difference. So, daily routine, it's your number one. Figuring out the small thing that you can do in your already existing daily routine that's not going to add what feels like a lot. You want it to feel like it's nothing, but that you just do it. Secondarily, that's in the morning, but in the evening, find something similar that you want to employ and put it into your evening routine when you wind down at night. Again, something that doesn't feel like anything. Something so small you almost don't pay attention to it. I hope you've thought of it. I hope you have thought of it. Okay? Let's go on to number 2. Simplify workflow. We all have them. We have them in every part of our life. If you go to a job, you have some set of steps you always follow. If you work for yourself, full time or part time, you have something you do and you follow those steps all the time. If you do volunteer work, I'm going to talk about one of mine. Somewhere in that volunteer work, you've got a set of steps that you follow to execute something. So, workflow or process exists in all of our lives. But what can a habit change do that's small, that will reduce stress, will allow you to be effective and productive, and make it easy to do, that you can follow all the time? Think of a workflow, something that you do today, and it's a little friction. You want it to be smoother. You want it to be habitual. You want it to be consistent. You have a desire for a different outcome. I'll give you an example or two from my own life. I do work with a volunteer organization, Office Hours Global. You may have heard me talk about it. If you don't know anything about them, just look them up on YouTube, Office Hours Global. And there are a few meetings that we participate in. Well, I started helping to lead a meeting. And I knew for me, if I made the leading the meeting really difficult, it would fall apart and I would not get it done. So I thought, okay, I need to fit this into what I'm already doing into my life. So what I did was I mapped out, okay, here's when the meeting is. And at first I was doing it the hard way. Like I have to really think about this and I have to put all this time in and I was like, this is not gonna work in Florence's world. She's gonna fall apart and it's not gonna get done. So I wrote 3 text expansion snippets. One that said, "Hey, meeting agenda is done, ready for you." The second one said, "Hey, meeting is starting at this time." And the third one says, "Hey, meeting notes are done and ready for you." 3 text expansion snippets. By the way, if you don't know what a text expansion snippet is, I'm going to ask one of the moderators to go to the channel and find um, one of the videos that I talked about text expansion. That'll give you some information. And then you can go to my website and get the text expansion guide that I made available to you. What that did is I don't have to think about what I'm going to say and when I'm going to say it and how I'm going to say it. I've made a routine now that on a certain day, I just type a code on the keyboard and it posts that message for the team. That's all I do. Just type code and it posts a message. And then the second piece is generally between 5 and 15 minutes before the meeting start, I type the second code and it types the second message and sends it to the team. And then as soon as the note taker tells me that the notes are ready for the meeting, I type a third code and it sends it. What did I do? I made a process that literally for me takes me typing 3 codes on the computer. That's all it takes. And the communication is done. I had to think about it. So consider something that you do regularly that you can make it so simple that that takes me 5-10 seconds each to type a code and bloop, it's done. That's simplifying a workflow. I simplified it down to the smallest thing I could get it down to. That's simplifying a workflow. And so now it's so simple that I can repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. That's the power. And what it does is it gives the people who are looking for the information they need without causing stress to me. Another example is a little bit more detailed, and that is I've talked about it. I write a show brief for the entire month, and then I hand that show brief off to members of my team. And then I get back some content and graphics and other things from my team. That's been in place for a while. But me doing that led to a different step in the workflow. This is, I think everybody here pretty much everybody in the chat is going to recognize this. We have to schedule these live streams in YouTube Studio or Ecamm or whatever you use. What I do, because of the way we do the briefs, we get the thumbnails for the whole month. They're done for the month. I go in, I do this one time a month. I I create the schedule, the live stream. I give it a date, just like whatever the date is. I attach the thumbnail to the live stream. I make it private. Nobody's going to see it. And I let it sit there until I'm ready to fill in the real title, the real description, and anything else I want to change. So now my, let's say it's 5 Fridays in the month, my 5 live streams are sitting in YouTube Studio ready for me. I still have to do the title, I have to complete the description and do all of that stuff, but they're sitting waiting. What does that do? If I get busy, I don't have to go, oh, where's the thumbnail? Oh, I got to upload it. Oh, I got to go click. I got to go into YouTube Studio. I have to do it because it's already behind me and it's just sitting waiting for me. So those are a couple of examples of things that I didn't start out with the second one. I started out just writing the brief. Writing the brief then led me to doing the second step, which is pre-scheduling a month's worth of live streams. That's simplifying a workflow and making it as simple as I could without adding stress. Okay. Now let's talk about what kind of changes, because there are 3 types of changes, and it's in this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. And he talks about in his book the 3 types, and this is early in the book. So I'm actually rereading this. So that's why it's on the desk here. He talks about 3 different types of changes. And as I was reading this book, I think this is my 4th time reading this book. I was like, I don't know why this lesson didn't hit me the same way, but it did. And that is number 1 is outcome changes. This one is the one that most of us, including me, think of when we say changes. Let me explain what I mean. I want this result. I want to be healthier. I want to be thinner. I want to be wealthier. I want to be a full time content creator, whatever it is. I want this result. I want a bigger house. I want a different house. I want to move someplace. I, I want my kids to not be crazy. Whatever. We want the outcome. That's what we think of as the change. And that is a type of change, but it's the end result. It's the end. And that's the place that I realize so many of us, including me, get stuck. I'm thinking about it saying, I want this outcome and I'm going to make a change and I'm going to get this outcome, this result. That's what my change is. I don't care. I'm going to get it. And then he hit me with the next one. Y'all. It's not outcome changes that we need. It is, let me try to go to, nope, this one. It's behavior changes that we need first. It's behavior changes. It's not the outcome, the result. We have to get to behavior changes. And the behavior changes really are the habits. The habits are behaviors. So that was when I was like, light bulb, ding, 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 ding. To get what I want, I've got to change this behavior. If I don't change the behavior, I'm not going to get the result or the outcome that I want. I'm just simply going to keep going around saying I want something different and not getting something different. Then he hit me with this. You don't get behavior changes until you change your beliefs. So habit changes boil down to, what do you believe? What do you believe about you? What do you believe about your situation? What do you believe about the world? How do you see the world? Remember earlier when I said changing your morning routine and listening to your affirmations, and I didn't say it, but listening to your affirmations in your voice, hearing you talk to you, not thinking it, actually hearing the words come out of your mouth and talk to you. When you are hearing, if you don't want to out loud repeat them yourself, but you record it and you hear yourself talk to yourself about who you are changing your belief system about who you are. Your mind will go to work to create the person and the circumstances that you're telling yourself, I am this person. Not I want to be this person, not I want to try this thing. No, I am a creator. I am a believer. I am healthy. I am successful. I am kind. Declaring, declaring to yourself who you are, the person you want to be, not the outcome that you want. I decided that one of the things I wanted to accomplish was to release recorded videos on the channel. And as I was reading through this, I thought, you got to change your language, Florence, about editing, about pre recorded videos, about the entire process. So, to myself, not to other people, I started seeing you are a successful video editor. You edit video well. Does the result yet show that? No, it doesn't show it yet. But I'm saying it to myself to change the way I believe about what I can do in this realm. Because I have to change my belief. Changing my belief changes my actions. Changing my actions changes my behavior. Changing my behavior changes the outcome. Change your belief, changes your actions. Changing your actions changes your behavior. Change, and I'm saying that on purpose because the behavior change comes as you make these minor tweaks that we've talked about. And that changes your outcome. I want a beautiful home, then I got some things to work on. I change my belief about it. I want a healthier body. I got to change my belief about how I see myself. I want to be more successful editor. I am a successful video editor. I can use Final Cut Pro. I can be good at it. I am good at it. So there are a couple of quotes that I want to share because these were kind of rough. Let me just say frankly, it was kind of rough. But one of the quotes Mr. Clear says in his book is the ultimate form of intrinsic motivation is when a habit becomes a part of your identity. It's one thing to think to say, I'm the type of person who wants this. It's something very different to say, I'm the type of person who is this. That's that belief part. Motivation, feeling good is external. You can feel good. You can externally, someone can have you feeling good for a moment. But purpose, goals, internal motivation, it's an inside job. It is inside. No one is going to actually see it. They'll see the result, but they won't see the work happening inside you. It's not visible to other people. It's only known to you and to your creator. The second quote that I pulled out that was like, okay, don't say you want something when you don't want it. And the quote is from, again, from James Clear, Atomic Habits. Your actions reveal how badly you want something. If you keep saying something is a priority, but you never act on it, then you don't really want it. It's time to have an honest conversation with yourself. Your actions reveal your true motivations. Gut punch. Gut punch. You say you want something, but you're not taking the actions. Florence, you say you want something. You ain't taking the actions. It's not a priority. Get real with yourself. So I'm going to encourage you to take a moment and just whether it's tonight or tomorrow, take a moment and imagine what your days could look like with a few small changes that you decide what they are, not the big outcome, but small little things. Brush your teeth, take 3 breaths. Just picture starting your morning feeling like you're centered and in control, and ending your evening with calm and peace and gratitude. Think about how these small shifts will have a ripple effect through your life, with your relationships and what you get with your friends, your family. Again, habit changes, they ain't about making big, huge, overwhelming changes overnight. Those don't last. It's very small, meaningful tweaks that you almost don't notice, and they will transform how you feel and how you live, because the power is in your belief system, and in which leads to action changes, behavior changes, and ultimately lead you to the outcomes that you want to see in your life. So that is the lesson from Atomic Habits that I've taken away, and I've used that with things that I've done for years and other things where I said, ouch, you got some stuff to work on, Florence, because you got a long way to go. And let's go ahead and get into some conversation now and see what you guys are talking about and what questions you have. I will try to answer them or respond to them. I'm going to encourage you, if you have not picked up the reading list for 2025, go ahead and pick up the reading list. I just dropped the link in chat. You can get it, the Atomic Habits. It's right there on the reading list. And if you scroll down, you'll see the Book Nook. You can buy, if you don't have the book, you can buy the book right there on the Book Nook. And just so you know, I'm an Amazon affiliate. I almost said something else. I'm mixing words. Amazon affiliate. So I'll earn a little commission, and you'll help the channel continue to grow and to stay and be sustainable. So let's go see what we're talking about out here today. I know y'all been chatting up a storm. So I want to see what you're talking about. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm going to start at the top. And Frank Jackson said, hello, Roy. And Roy says, hello, Yolanda. I see you, Miss Yolanda. Hello, hello. And this was so, I need the emotional CEO to see this. Roy really likes a thumbnail. And yes, happy Friday, gang, and happy Friday, Live Tribe. Those who are commenting, those who are watching, who are not commenting. If you have not, by the way, if you have not subscribed or hit the thumbs up, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Oh, thank you, Miss Yolanda. She says she loved the thumbnail as well. Thank you so much. Yes, moderator salute to all the moderators in the channel today. And hello, Laura Thompson. Glad to have you here. It is a great book. Atomic Habits is absolutely a great book, but you gotta you gotta be really ready. You've got to really be ready. So, says, Denise says, I've begun to think about what I need to do differently to make my life and business more streamlined. I have routines and habits when it comes to housework, business. Well, let me bring it back. Work is needed. Work is needed for all of us. I have areas of my life, my business, my home, everything. It feels like for me that I need to work on. So you're not alone. We'll get through it together. Roy says, I alternate which foot I put socks on so my feet don't get jealous of each other. Good one. I like that. Of course, Miss Laura, you come with fire. Andrew Huberman's physiological sigh is a great way to do 3 breaths. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. D Laura, you asked a question about a Swiss and swipe from Fly Lady. Denise can answer that because I got it from Denise. I'm mixing up words today. Oh, you just Denise just answered. Oh, wrong one. Yeah, you got daily swish and swipe, make bed, start laundry, unload dishwasher. This is a routine, a workflow, zone work, and these are my daily routines. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And everybody is greeting each other. Hey, David Hunt. Hey, 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 David Hunt. Where you? How you doing? Glad to see you here this evening, sir. And thank you for commenting on my video. Denise says, I want to routinely check my planner first thing so I accomplish the tasks I set for the day. Sometimes I get busy and check the planner midday. Ooh, this is a good one, Denise. Maybe this is the one that you put in your morning routine and you leave your planner where you don't have to go anywhere to get it. You don't have to leave out of like, and I'm just going to make some assumptions. Let's say you're making the bed and doing all of that. You put the planner where you will see it in before you leave your bedroom. And in fact, the night before, leave it open on the page for the next day on the nightstand. So when you get up, you're going to see that page and you're going to see. So your routine is not really a morning routine change, but it is. The main thing is I can take this planner if you use a paper planner, and I believe you do, and just turn it to the next page and leave it laying open on the nightstand or on another side table in the room so that in the morning I have to see this thing before I get out of here. That's a easy almost again one of those things that may feel like this isn't going to do anything. Remember my shoe story? How I was like, yeah, put your shoes out, Florence, so you don't put the wrong shoes on. That's an example of that. For me, I set up my planner the night before, and I kinda do a version of this and leave it where I just have to see it in the morning. Before I start doing anything else, I have to see it. So that's the way you can handle that. Alright, you gotta finish the book. So, David, we can finish it together this month. We can finish it together. Yolanda, I like that belief change. Yeah, that one hit like, when you back it all the way up and you think, "The reason stuff is not changing is because I don't believe it." The reason this part of my world, my life, my job, my business, my home, my family, my health, my whatever is not being I'm not getting a different outcome is because I do not believe it. I got to change my belief. Yeah. Yeah. That one smacked me between the eyes. How you see yourself is so important. Yes, how you see yourself is super important. Okay, we got a question. Oh, no, this is Frank is telling y'all how to put your questions in. Put a Q colon in front of them. Thank you, David. Yes, that's the flow. Change your beliefs, change your actions, change your behavior. Yes. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. This is so far I done forgot what the thumbnail looked like. Okay. All right. So no one had questions tonight. I am gonna give you all we're a little bit over 7 o'clock, but thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate everyone who comes in, listens to me, but I'm sharing not just what I've done, but also what I'm doing and what I'm going through. My life is complex and stressful, and there are things in my life, and it's true for us always that we want to change. And so there are results I want different. That means I've got to start at the beginning. And I'm going through it, and you're just coming along with me. I hope that that you leave here, you leave this live stream tonight, and you've got some inspiration, but more importantly, you are ready and you're committed for yourself to apply the ideas so that the change you want occurs because it is in your grasp. It's, it's right there. It's right there. It's right there for you. All you got to do is reach out, grab it, and bring it close. So, thank you for joining me on this journey as we change some habits. Let's make these changes permanent and sustainable, and we'll do it together. Go get the book, and I will see you all back here next Friday. And oh, by the way, if you're not watching along, I'm doing 15 days of Evernote videos. And even if you don't use the product, the ideas in those videos, regardless of what you use, are useful to you. I will see you guys next Friday. Have a great weekend.